Alright, so we're going to be making a web quiz app. Here's an example. You have some questions and you put in your answers in the input field. And once you're finished, you just click on a button to check the answers.
You win! Perfect!
So I already have the HTML put in the index file. Basically what you need is a form tag, and within the form you're going to need sets of questions and answers, and each of them should have an ID. Each question and answer should have an ID, and you can name the ID anything you want, but at the end you have to have a 0. And the reason why you have to have numbers and you have to start with 0, and the reason why you have to do that is because you're going to be printing them from an array in your JavaScript file. So in addition to that, you need IDs to print out the correct answers, or the number that you got correct and the number you got incorrect. So let's go to our JavaScript file. So the first thing that you need is an array with the objects of the questions and answers. And I already have that. We're just going to be dealing with 3 questions. And you need it to be in key value form. And after that, you're going to need a for loop to print out the questions. So my array is called super questions. Okay, plus, and oh yeah, I need I to be less than super questions. Okay, so you need to create a variable that will equal the questions. So we do that by using dot notation, and super questions I represents the index number of the questions, and I dot question. And the next thing you need is to get the ID of where you're going to be printing them out. So document get element by ID. Our dot my ID, and this is question. And it's plus I, which represents the index number. And you want to print them out to the screen, so use text content, and that equals Q, your variable. So you're adding that to the Q. Okay? And next thing you need is your function. And I name my function getInfo. Okay, and first thing you want to do in your function, and there's a few ways to do this, this is probably the easiest way. Create 2 variables that represent the correct answers, and you start them off with a value of 0, and they'll be incremented depending on whether they get the answer correct or incorrect. Okay, and then after that you want another for loop to verify the answers. And this is you can use the same one you used up here. Okay. Now this time you want to create 3 variables. One to represent the correct answers. I'll call mine the variable real answers here. And you're going to use the array name, I, the index number, dot answer. The other one is going to be user answer, what the user puts in. You want to document dot get element by ID, and our ID for our answers is answer. You're going to use the index number, I, okay, dot value. And you also, I also added 2 uppercase just to make sure that to make sure whether they printed their answer in lowercase or uppercase form. But you also have to make sure that your answers are uppercase as well if you use that. Okay, and the last variable is That represents the questions, and you want to be able to use this one for adding a class after they get the questions correct or incorrect. So question results, I call this one get ID, and again question, no, plus I, the index number, and yeah, that's it. Okay. And the next thing we want to do is have an if statement. So if real answers are equal to the user answer, and the code that you want to put for that is you want to get question results, and you want to add a class name. So you put dot class name, and our class that we're going to add is correct. Okay, and you want to increment correct with 1 point. Okay, and they get the answer incorrect. You want to add a different class, and the other class is incorrect. And you want to increment incorrect with 1 point. Okay, and then you go before the final curly brace, and you want to grab the IDs of where you want to print out the answers. Get element by ID, ID of question. Let me just double check. Correct and incorrect. That's right. Okay, correct, and that will equal correct. Our variable correct right here. And this will just print out the number that they got correct onto the screen, but you want to add more. You want to add some text to explain it. So I think I usually say you got, and that will be the number, and you want to add the word correct with parentheses. So actually, it's onto the screen. Okay, and you want to do the same thing for incorrect. Change, just add in after correct. Okay, so this is basically what you need. If you want to add additional functions in case they get all of the answers correct, you would just go right under here and add an if statement saying if correct is equal to how many, whatever questions you got, you have. And in this case, we have 3. And you want to activate your function. And I think I call my function you win. That's one of them. I actually use 2. And then right under here, you would just print out your function. And whatever it is that you want whatever you want to happen in your function. And that is it.